I arrived early. The hall smelled of lilies and polished wood, the kind of scent meant to impress every guest from the city's social register. My sister was radiant in her gown, but her smile didn't reach the corners of the room. She was tense, preoccupied, arranging details I didn't notice as a child, now mirrored in her controlling instincts. I carried the gift like a silent agreement, a box with a check I knew would embarrass the envelope, stuffed envelopes of other relatives. $50,000. Half for the honeymoon, half for contributions to the couple's first home. I didn't flaunt it, but I also didn't hide it. In this family, money has always been a language, and I spoke fluently. Then I saw it. A small yellow sticky note, hastily written, taped to a folding chair tucked into the corner near the bathroom. My name scrawled in shaky cursive. The note seemed almost apologetic in its attempt to delineate space. Not important enough for the main table. Not important enough to sit with my sister's friends, or her fiancé's family, or even the cousins who had grown up alongside me. Not even the dog, who had a custom place card with paw print calligraphy, seemed less recognized than me. I noticed the mother-in-law before she noticed me noticing. Smirked, leaning lightly against the doorframe. "Well," she said, voice light, almost teasing, "not everyone's important enough for the main table." I laughed softly. A laugh meant to disguise something that could not be ignored. My mind ran back decades, not just to weddings or birthdays, but to every family gathering where contributions, financial, emotional, or time-bound, had been measured and ranked like commodities. My presence had always been conditional. My generosity always discounted. I took a breath, long and deliberate, letting my awareness anchor me in the room. Silence often follows hesitation, and this time it did. The guests were busy arranging themselves, sipping champagne, oblivious to my growing resolve. The bride, smiling politely at incoming relatives, did not notice. The groom whispered to a cousin about flower arrangements, unaware that the real arrangement of power was about to shift. I walked to the gift table. The box sat there, pristine, surrounded by smaller gifts and congratulatory notes. Everyone assumed it was untouchable, an irrevocable statement. But I had learned the quiet truth: generosity that is unreciprocated is not sacred, it's assumed. And assumptions can be undone. I picked up the box, lifting it just enough to catch the glint of gold trim. The hall noticed. Conversations faltered. Glasses paused mid-air. Chairs creaked as attention turned. My voice cut through the murmurs, calm but unmistakable. "Didn't realize a $50,000 check only bought me a spot next to the toilets," I said. Loud enough for every attendee to hear, not as a scream but as a statement. Precision in delivery, nothing theatrical. Ice widened. Laughter died mid-choke. The bride stiffened. The mother-in-law's smirk faltered. And then the groom whispered, almost inaudibly, "Wait, you're taking it back." I didn't respond immediately. Silence amplified the weight of my action. The room became a measuring stick who valued me, who had reduced my contributions to a number on a sticky note. I could feel the shift without touching anyone. The balance was no longer predetermined. The mother-in-law approached, softening her posture, trying to reclaim authority through politeness. "You can't just—" "I can," I said. Simple. Factual. My hand rested on the box, ownership undisputed. Generosity has limits. And respect is not negotiable. The guests' reactions were subtle yet telling. A few whispered to each other, others looked down, uncomfortable, unsure whether to step in or wait for the drama to resolve itself. My sister appeared, lips parted, cheeks flushed, realization dawning that the currency of money does not guarantee dignity. I turned toward the exit with the box, measuring every step. The soft thud of my shoes against the polished floor echoed the quiet defiance that had built up over years. The room, momentarily frozen, now contained the tangible consequence of ignoring invisible debts: respect, acknowledgement, and rightful place. Outside, I paused. Breath filled my lungs differently. Relief mingled with discomfort. I had not humiliated anyone overtly. I had not yelled, thrown, or threatened. I had simply reclaimed what was mine to give on my terms. My dignity intact. My generosity respected, or at least, no longer presumed. The hall resumed its rhythm behind me. Guests whispered. My sister approached the door, unsure whether to confront me or follow protocol. I didn't look back. The box was heavy, but lighter than the burden I had carried for decades. In that moment, the lesson was quiet, undeniable. Unreciprocated generosity can be withdrawn, not as vengeance, but as assertion. Family, tradition, and money have weight, but they cannot dictate self-respect unless I allow it. And for the first time in a long string of family events, I left a gathering feeling neither small nor indebted. I left whole.